together? Like this. Yeah!
I didn't want it to affect Emily in any way. She's young, none of this is her fault, so me and Adam did everything we could to normalize everything.
Okay.
You want to cry and be frustrated, but that's not her fault at all.
There's one night where we got 20 inches of snow, the plow truck was broken, the animal's water's freezing, Tish is just like running around trying to keep it all together, and I'm just laying there. It's just a really bad feeling. It doesn't make me feel like a good husband or dad.
I work full-time and own 2 businesses, so I'm super busy.
And then Emily, she's young, she doesn't understand. So when she's getting frustrated, I'm like, come play. I can't. That's a really, really bad feeling.
As of right now, everything's still up in the air because his bones haven't healed. So there's still possibly a surgery down the line.
It's hard to move on right now because I'm living it, still in it.
So this is the spot I had my accident. It's about 6 months ago. It doesn't feel like any time has passed.
Everybody came back from a 4-day weekend, Christmas with all the family and stuff, and we got down there, went and did the job, and obviously it went south.
So we were just rigging up some frames. So we rigged up a 2,400 pound load with a piece of rigging that was actually good for half that weight.
It was just pretty much standard operations, picking something up. And
as the load came up, it was a little crooked, and as a common practice, I went up to try and push it down and level it. And as soon as I added that extra little bit of weight, the sling snapped, and the 2,400 pound frame fell on my feet.
And when I looked, I seen Adam trying to pull his feet out from under the bars. I didn't know how high they were. I didn't see any of it. I just knew that I had a bar in my hand 2 minutes before in the side compartment of the toolbox, and I put it in there and pulled, and he got his foot out.
First thing I did was shut off the crane, and then obviously ran out front and see what the heck went on. But by that time, Dennis already had pried the grizzlies off of his foot, and I seen blood on the snow, and then Adam hobbled into the truck, and that's when we went to the first aid.
As soon as they finished cutting the boots off, Corey kind of just pushed my head down, told me not to look, but I could feel the cold air. It gave me a sense of what was going on down there.
I looked at it, went, God, I hope he doesn't lose his foot.
I fractured all of the metatarsals on my right foot, 2 toes on my left foot. My EHL ligament, which is like your main ligament in your foot, got severed in my right foot. There's a couple of veins got severed and then atrophied off, and a tendon got torn. When the bones got pushed down in the fracture, they pushed all the muscle on the bottom of your foot out, your fascia. Mine exploded out the bottom of my foot.
It's very important that we have proper investigations, because that's where we learn from them, and that's where we ultimately put the right preventive measures in place. So I found myself getting mixed between supporting a proper investigation and knowing from my experiences what Dennis, Corey, and Josh may have been going through.
We were kind of sent back to our bullpen, and we had a meeting with Dave and Corey and Frank and just talked about it, and I wanted to check everybody out and see how they were. And then
Made me feel sick to my stomach, lost sleep. Yeah, a lot of things kind of go through your head.
you know the person, not just who you're going to work with, you know their kids, you know their wife, your friend too. For me, it kind of struck home that way.
I sat at home that night and really, that's when it kind of hit me personally. I kind of kept that to myself because when I came back to work the subsequent days, we had to do what was good for the investigation and the group, but it digs pretty deep.
I was pretty shook for a while. I still kind of am. And none of the hazards came from the challenges of the work. It came from the challenges of not becoming complacent, being able to focus.
Big jobs we plan for, and then sometimes it's the small ones that really come back to bite you the worst.
We kind of sat down right away. Everybody, the whole crew did, and said, okay, what can we make this safer and better? Should we get a card pertaining to our job? And we said, that's a hell of a good idea.
Josh and Dennis, the same day of the incident, were already talking to myself and people around tools we could put in place to help avoid an incident like this.
The lift card gives us an opportunity to take a breather a few minutes before we start the job.
So if something doesn't jive, it's right there in front of you, and there's just more than one person thinking about it as a group, you're doing it. If it saves anybody from hurting themselves like Adam or anything else happening, it's worth it to us. Everyone thinks, you know what, it can't happen to me. We thought it. I guarantee you, if you asked Adam that question and you asked me that question, no, that doesn't happen to us. I've been doing it for 20 years. It doesn't happen to me. But you know what? Any day, it's possible that it could happen to you.
Here at TECK Trail Operations, we continue to strive and will continue to strive moving forward that everyone can go home safe and healthy every day.